Peace and blessings, my brothers and sisters. My name is actually Kazimi Sama Sadullah. I go by the Black Alpha here on YouTube. My name is Afro-Asiatic. My last name actually means Lion of God or Lion of Allah. That's why I have the lion symbols everywhere. That's what that's about. My brothers and sisters, you have to understand that I know I have quite a few of y'all that's here that embraces ADOS and FBA. I'm not sure what the proper definition of FBA is, but Foundational Black Americans, I know some of y'all embrace that. ADOS is American Descendants of Slaves. I know some of y'all embrace the Pan-Africanist movement. I know some of y'all embrace Islam and other things, Hebrews, Moors, or whatever. I do my best intentionally to run off the kinds of people that are just not going to get on board with the revolution. I purposely make sure that I don't sugarcoat anything, that my language stays raw and uncut, as to push away the sorts of black men and women that will never get on board with revolution. Because we are now at that point where it's time for us to move forward with the next phase. Y'all don't realize that over the decades, we have steadily been going backwards. We talk more pro-black today than we did at one point. We got all the lingo, we got all the talking points, but the real actions of us is far, far removed from where we were at almost any other period in history prior to 2000. I don't even recognize black people today, to be honest with you. I don't. Now, this video is going to be the first video where I actually talk about the sort of stuff that I came on YouTube to talk about. My job when I came on YouTube was to do my part to plant the seeds of revolution. I'm not trying to be anybody's leader, but I don't mind. I am a general. I don't mind, leading a battle or two, but I'm not really here to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to do my part. I'm here to spark it. I'm here to plant the seeds of revolution. Because I understand what we need to do to change. And everything begins with standing. Unfortunately, we are way, way, way past a simple situation where we can just buy some land and build a community and that'll be that. No, we've waited too long for that. That was the solution 100 years ago. Probably was the solution 60 years ago, 50 years ago even. Today, that's not the solution. We are way, way beyond that point. Today, we're going to have to deal with this stuff from the international courts. And the only way to do that is to have legal standing to make claim. What legal standing basically means is that you have a right to bring forth a claim into a courtroom. And by you having an actual right to bring the claim, you give the court jurisdiction to hear the claim. But you have to have legal standing. Claiming Africa while living in America gives you no legal standing here in America. And this is a problem. I really don't care what you believe. But unless you're willing to accept or just let it be, right, that this is your ancestral land, that the Americas and West Indies is your ancestral land, then you are in the way of progress. Because claiming Africa and living here gives you no legal claim to America. None. And we have to change our legal status. This is what Dane Calloway attempts to do, but unfortunately, he really don't know what he's doing. He don't really know what he's talking about. Once he gets outside of doing a research for the indigenous thing, I mean, all that's easy, right? Once he get outside of that, once he start talking about the legal aspects, everything he says is wrong. I've actually heard him quote things that he supposedly read in law books. I'm telling you, he ain't read that in no law book. And I know because I've read law books. See, what most of y'all don't know about me is that I've litigated dozens of cases, real cases, in federal court, including my own. I have litigated cases for family members also, friends, over the decades. I have well over like a 95% success rate. I'm pretty good at it too. Because I argue the law from the foundation. I don't get caught up in all the bull. This is why it's hard to debate with me. For all y'all that have come at me over the time and try to debate with me, I know y'all notice how I debate. I don't get caught up in the fluff. I go straight to the heart, to the foundation of the topic, and I stay right there. Because that's what I did in the courtrooms. And I've won cases of all types. So when Dane Calloway talks about Niji, calling yourself Niji, that is an endonym. Look it up. Endonyms and exonyms come and go. They change over time. A legal status is something else. A legal status is an actual thing. It is not a description. It is not an adjective. It is a noun, which is why I have Aborigine nation of the America and West Indies, and I don't have Aboriginal nation. Because Aborigine is a noun. This is a thing, a real thing. Being indigenous to a land is a actual real thing. That is a legal status that must be recognized in international courts. And my job right now, right here, in this time space, is to start waking you up to the reality that even if you don't believe that this is your ancestral land, you have two choices. You either leave and go to Africa, go to Jerusalem if you want to be Hebrew, go to Morocco if you are Moor. Go, just leave. You either leave or you help us claim our legal status here by all of us uniting and getting on the same page. Because right now, we are way too divided to make any real progress. That's the two choices. I need you to understand that my language is sharp on purpose. Because if you get insulted or offended because I'm telling you that whatever it is you believe is not true, then maybe you just need to leave, because fighting with me is not the answer to anything. Opposing me is not the answer. Hating on me in my video, trying to slow down the progress of the channel, flagging the channel. This is not the answer if you consider yourself to be pro-black. Y'all talk about this diaspora stuff all the time. Well, you should have enough love and respect for your brothers and sisters to say, okay, if I believe that I'm from Jerusalem, from Morocco, or from Africa in general, then I need to get out of their way, because I am hurting their cause here in their ancestral homeland. I can't sit here and fight with my brothers and sisters any longer. I need to get out of their way. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. You need to get out of the way. You need to have enough love and respect for your brothers and sisters who are from the Americas and West Indies to say, I'm going to either shut up and just support them, or I'm going to actually pull away and leave. And stop coming out as opposition. Every time I see these video clips of Sarnetta and all these kinds of dudes debating that we are not indigenous, it's like, what's the point, Sarnetta? What's the point, bruh? What's the point, Dr. Umar Johnson? What's the point, Claude Anston? What's the point of any of you dudes trying to say that we are from Africa? If you believe that, go back to Africa. What is the point of trying to make all of us from Africa when we telling you that we know we are not? Why are you fighting with me? Why are you holding us back? If you believe that you're not from here, why are you running defense for the devil? Why are you running opposition and interference for the devil? If you honestly believe that this is not your ancestral land, then leave or shut up and support the people who are from here. As to the Dane Calloway type dudes that wants to get hung up on names, y'all are in the way too. Yeah, you might understand that this is your ancestral land, but names are endonyms. Y'all need to look up endonyms and exonyms. They change over time. They come and go. Like, I'm gonna give you a prime example right now. We call Germany, Germany, and Germans don't call Germany, Germany. Nah, we call China, China, but Chinese don't call China, China. Because we call it by an exonym. They have their own endonym. Africa, most Africans couldn't point out Africa on the map because they don't know what Africa is. Because they don't call Africa, Africa. They have their own endonym. So exonyms and endonyms, these things are irrelevant. A thing by any other name is still the same thing. But your legal status is the only thing that is constant. And claiming to be a native of somewhere else while living here gives you no legal standing here. And coming out arguing and debating against us is pointless. If that's your idea of pro-blackness, this is why I don't rock with you dudes. That's silliness, man. That silliness abound. What in the hell are you coming out against me for, bro? If you feel that this is not your ancestral land, then shut up. What in the hell we gotta argue about? You want beef from African slaves so bad, then that's you. If that's what you believe, fine. Shut up or leave. You have the ability to go back to Africa. There are several African nations have already extended open arm invitations to Black Americans to go to Africa without no paperwork or nothing. You just can move over there. Why y'all still here? And why are y'all still here arguing with us on behalf of the system? We get drowned out by all of the Black academics. We get drowned out by all the Black religious leaders. We get drowned out by all the Black social leaders. Then we get drowned out by all the Black activists. Everybody in key positions or high positions of influence or authority or so forth or whatever, that's Black, all wants to be from African slaves. Which is not surprising because they wouldn't be in the position that they're in if they wasn't willing to say what the system wanted them to say. Or if they didn't believe it. They might not be actual willing agents, but they believe it. But so I'm not surprised that they're doing this. But the thing is, we got to get rid of them. We got to make it clear that they do not speak for us. And we can't do that when we don't have a consensus in the mainstream. So I'm telling the mainstream Black Americans this. If you really believe that you are actually from Africa or from Morocco or from Jerusalem or from wherever, please leave. If we need to start trying to get some money together to get y'all out of here, GoFundMe's or whatever, talk to us. Let us help y'all go home. Because unlike y'all, we want to see our brothers and sisters happy. We want to see our brothers and sisters, where they want to be. We want to see our brothers and sisters on their proper land, in their proper areas, in their proper space. And if that be Africa, or if you want to be a Hebrew and that be Jerusalem, then we will help you. We will raise the funds. We won't give you the money, but we will raise funds and help you get out of here. We will do it. And I'm sure raising that money won't be hard, because I'm sure there's plenty white folks would be glad to donate to get y'all up out of here. So if that's what you want, if that's what you really believe, then you need to leave. Or you need to shut up and get on board with us. Because this is our homeland. I know for a fact that this is my ancestral homeland. I've always known it. Unlike most of y'all that become aware of this later in life, this is something I grew up knowing. Always known it. So this is my ancestral land. I have legal standing here. And I can't be sitting up here arguing all the time with other black people because they wants to believe what they was taught in college, in Africana studies and all this stuff. I ain't got time for that, man. If that's what you believe, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. If you believe the whole slavery thing, I have no problem with it. But now it's 2023. You have no reason to still be here. It's time for you to leave so that we, Aborigine, indigenous, black Americans, could start claiming our proper legal status right here in America. And as I was about to say about Dane Calloway and this Niji thing, Niji does not give you legal standing. All this stuff about black has no place in law, no status in law, but guess what, Dane? Niji has no status in law either, but Aborigine does. Indigenous does. Aboriginal actually does. I guess I wouldn't use it because it's an adjective, but indigenous does. This is an actual status. This is an actual legal status. Claiming indigenous is the only way to get legal standing here in America. So this is what my channel is really about. So the part 2 of this video is going to be where I kind of just talk. And I wanted to give this slight introduction beforehand because I thought it was important that you understand where my mind is. So on that note, I'm out of here. I'm Brother Kush, aka the Black Elf. Enjoy the video. Salam.